Hi folks, Annette Evans here. I wanted to thank you for following along on the journey of On Her Own. I'm learning a lot and I hope that you're learning a lot too. Today I wanted to talk about why pepper spray. I've spent a lot of time telling you that I'm a big fan of it, but I want to get into the reasons why I'm a big fan of it. The first one is, we can't always have guns with us. Some people choose not to carry guns, and that's okay. I think that they're a great force equalizer, but if that's not something that you're comfortable with, that's fine. You're still entitled to self-defense. And for those of us who do carry guns on a regular basis, we can't carry them all the time. Whether it's because we go to places that guns are legally restricted, or they're restricted by policy, such as a job or a sporting event or a museum or somewhere else, we can't always carry that gun with us. However, pepper spray is legal in more places, it's acceptable in more places. In fact, when you go to an event where you've forgotten that you can't have pepper spray and you've left one in your pocket or your bag, usually if they find it, they'll just look at you and say, hey ma'am, can't have that here. You're going to need to get rid of it, you're going to need to put it back in your car. And then what's the worst case scenario? You throw out a $12 can of pepper spray? I think that's not so bad. It's a lot better than trying to find somewhere to put your gun or your knife or whatever else that you might want to carry. Here's another thing about pepper spray where it's a lot better than a gun. I can walk around in a dark parking lot or down the street with pepper spray in my hand, ready to use. Try doing that with a gun. I don't think the cops are going to like that very much. Here's another reason I like to carry pepper spray. Not every gun is a gun problem. It's not always legal, it's not always appropriate, it's not always necessary to shoot somebody. Pepper spray, on the other hand, well, there's a lot wider range of situations where it might work for you, and certainly, here's the other thing. If you screw up, you can say, I'm sorry. You'll have to check local law, but generally speaking, if you pepper spray somebody who doesn't need pepper spraying, not a whole lot's going to happen to you. You're going to say, I'm sorry. The person who got that edge of pepper spray or even got a full face of it is going to be uncomfortable for a while, but there's not going to be any permanent injury and they're not going to die from it. It's a very safe tool. In fact, it's so safe that they use it for medical experiments to cause coughing, even in people like asthmatics. There is a very, very rare allergy where people can die from pepper spray, but it's so rare that it's not really something you need to worry about. On the other hand, if you're using a correct formulation of pepper spray and you're using it properly, which I'm going to cover in a later video, then it's almost always effective. And that's pretty cool. 85 to 90%, give or take, of people are affected by pepper spray. It's not something that you can avoid. It's a physical reaction. It causes inflammation. And pretty much everybody is going to be susceptible to that. They're all going to start crying. They're all going to see all the other effects that you get from pepper spray. And if we see failures, they generally are attributable to things like bad product. They can be expired. They can not have enough major capsaicin content in them. It can be just something that's not used correctly too. If you don't get pepper spray in the places it needs to go, it can't work. It really needs to go right across the eyes of your attacker. Now, I'll be honest with you. Pepper spray doesn't always work as much as you want it to work. A determined fighter can work through the effects of pepper spray, as can people who are high, who have mental conditions such as excited delirium. It's not going to affect them as much. However, it's going to make them less effective at the fight. And that's going to buy you a little bit of time. It's going to allow you a few options so that you can get away or control the interaction. But most of the time, it's probably going to end the potential violence right then and there. If not, at least you've bought yourself that time. And finally, don't forget, pepper spray, it's created from this oily extract from chili peppers. And what does that mean? It is an all-natural product. Sounds like good reasons for pepper spray to me. I hope you agree. Come back to On Her Own. We're going to explore it more.